Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about good news. My name is Jahan and this is
Damyan.
And Damyan and I
made a magazine.
Yeah, we made a magazine. Nice one. I thought I'd take this opportunity to do something different on my channel. It's not like I have to do anything specific on my channel, but we made a magazine and we wanted to talk about it and just give you a brief overlook and insight into why we decided to make a magazine and what it's all about.
Yeah. First of all, it's called Good News. That's the title in capital letters there. And why is it called like that? Well, you buy a copy and then on the second page of the magazine you find this quote by Robert Adams, which explains it all. In his book, Beauty in Photography, Adams has a little paragraph. It turns out it was very inspiring for us.
Very inspiring.
Yeah. Maybe we should read it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just read.
Go for it.
I sometimes dream of an ideal photographic journal. Maybe one distributed on microfiche so we can all afford it. In my imagination, it is assembled in somebody's garage in the Midwest. Oh, it's not the Midwest, but...
We're in Europe, so sorry, Midwest.
It is a magazine devoted to successful work.
We do ship to the Midwest, though.
Yeah,
sorry.
And the far west, every west, and east.
And east.
North, south.
It is a magazine devoted to successful work because that is all we have time for. It is a journal notable for its tact and lucidity, and it's a magazine full of pictures because they are the point. We might just take our cue from Man Ray's friends and call it Good News. There you go. And we won't allow ourselves to be labeled sentimentalists because our title does not imply that good news in the short run compromises the news or even most of the news. In fact, we may note editorially that our attention to good news is evidence of our pessimism, our belief that good news is rare and we cannot afford to overlook any of it.
Well, that's inspiring.
Yes. And what happened is we made a zine a while ago, which was called 8x10, and we kind of wanted to do more with it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like what set the ball rolling, and that's how we started. And then we decided, hey, you know what? We should make a magazine called Good News because we just want to share our photography. Mm-hmm. We both shoot film and we work in the darkroom. We have an interest in this tactile experience, which is something that's really important for us. And we're tired of Instagram and social media and all those silly things. So we decided to do the one thing that we both really enjoy the most, which is print. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to make Good News. And Good News is about sharing our work, but also sharing the work of other people. Good News will probably come out 4 times a year. And fingers crossed, we're working very hard on it. It's 8x10 inches in size, which is pretty cool. It's 132 pages of photography and writing.
Golden content.
Yes.
No, I'd say we can easily label this a research report.
Yes.
Let's say a diary or like a research diary report, whatever you want to call it. It's a magazine about photography, but it's about how we sort of approach it, or how the more we find out about it, the better our general understanding of it gets. So we want to share that and find a place to put all of that information into, and also just have our projects, give them a place where they can live and they can remain there forever. Like, this thing is gonna live on some shelf or some table, and it's
not
there.
On a cloud.
And it's there. Yeah, you know, like all of a sudden, it's great. All of a sudden, you see your pictures printed, and there are these 2 glossy covers that hold everything together. And now you can really believe that this is a picture. Now you know it's there. It's not just lost on some folder on your hard drive.
So if you take photos, print your work,
Print your work.
Print
yeah.
your work.
Or do a little booklet, or send us a message, and
Yes.
who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Because we have guests in here, and
Yep.
we like collaborating with people. We like sharing our ideas with other people, and we like having other people share their ideas with us.
So we can steal their secrets.
Yep. So we can steal your secrets. That's why we made this magazine. Tell us all your secrets. No, seriously.
Yeah, just to learn from other people and how
have
their
an
ideas
exchange.
could reshape our ideas.
Yeah. So in this first issue, we invited 3 people to showcase their work. Verena, Katarina, and Bojan. And buy the magazine, and then you'll find out more about them. They're all...
Let's quickly show.
Yeah, I mean, they're all photographers. Verena is...
Or they all have an interest in...
They all have an interest. Yeah, like photographer. It's a very...
They all have cameras.
They all have cameras, exactly.
That's one thing in common. Yeah.
Well, actually, let's start with
Katja.
Katarina.
Start with Katja. That's Katja.
There's an introduction about her. She grew up in Moscow, and
she grew up between Moscow and Ukraine, and then she came to Vienna to study photography, and she's been living here for a couple of years now. She travels a lot, and she describes her work as nomadic work.
yes. And more on that in Good News,
Yeah.
because she talks about why she calls her work nomadic. Then nomadic kind of fits to Bojan, no?
Which is
It's at the front, right? Yeah, you know the magazine
yeah,
much better than I do.
Anyways, you have time to read it now.
Yeah.
No, this is an interview with a friend who went on this long pilgrimage, Camino de Santiago, El Camino de Santiago. It's a journey where one walks for 40-something days alone most of the time. And we did that interview when he came to visit me in Vienna. But we got really drunk, and we did it between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. So it was really hard to then sit down and transcribe the entire audio recording. But I'd say it's a pretty fun interview. So you'll have the pleasure of reading it, I hope.
Yeah.
And we also used some of the photographs he took while being on this long journey.
And talking about reading, here we have a writer, Verena Gotthard, and she doesn't only take photos, but she writes a lot, and she's received awards for her writing. And since we both have an interest in writing, we thought it'd be really interesting to have an artist in here who does as much writing as she does photography. And yes, more on that in Good News. And then finally, because we talked about writing
And photography. And how we want to mix in ideas from different fields and see how that can influence our understanding of photography and our thoughts on this. We did a joint project together.
Yeah, which is a bit of an experiment. We basically took Jack Kerouac's 30 Rules for Prose and took those rules, we have them all written out, and kind of decided to take photos inspired by those rules. And
30 Polaroids for 30 rules.
Exactly, 30 Polaroids. And that was really spontaneous. And this is also a really good example of this magazine being a bit of a playground or a diary. None of the work here necessarily is finished or should appear in that kind of way. It's really just something like a scrapbook.
Yeah, exactly.
In nice quality. And
surprisingly
nice quality. That's why there's only not so many copies left, and you should buy some. So please buy Good News.
Price is 13 euros.
13 euros, shipping not included, but we ship worldwide, and it's insured and tracked. So if it gets lost, it'll be found.
Yeah, you can order Good News, the first issue, the November issue coming out this December, from our website. And I think that's really easy.
8x10press.com. It's 13 euros, shipped internationally, shipping not included. And yeah, as I said, we're going to try and get it out on a quarterly basis. That's once every 4 months.
3 months.
Yeah, we're gonna see if that works. If you have any questions about Good News, feel free to write us a message, comment on this video, like and subscribe.
Send us a fax.
Send us a fax. We don't have a fax station yet, but we will have one soon.
Yeah, but you can try. Or send us a picture of you reading the magazine.
If you send us a picture of you reading Good News, we will repost it in the next video that we will make on issue 2.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We have an Instagram as well, which is
8x10press.
8x10press. There you go. All the links will be down in the comments.
Yeah.
And I'd say...
And it's like long live social media when you're trying to do something in printed form.
Hopefully one day we'll have enough addresses that we can just send this out to. We'll have a newsletter going or something like that.
Yeah, and a subscription and all that thing.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Just before we end this video, we will plan on making this a subscription magazine in the future. For now, it's just as you go, as we produce it, you can order one. But let's see how things go for the future.
Because in order to speak about a magazine run, you need at least 2 copies.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's make the second issue.
Let's make the second issue. We'll see you in 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And thanks, Damyan, for being here. And
thank you.
Looking forward to
putting me on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, man. I want to see you here again. Maybe I'll do a photo walk of him doing photos or something. Anyways, thanks so much for watching and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah.
You're gonna take a photo of Good News now?
Yeah. Go do one.
Good News and Tangerine. Go for it.
Of course. First I have to turn on the camera.
Photographers.